Hey St. Louis, I'm Lauren Healey with Sauce Magazine, and this week's guest is Natasha Bahrami, the owner of the Gin Room, which is one of my favorite bars in all of St. Louis.
I'm just a girl who had a dream and fell in love with gin.
Well, it's working really well for you.
Yeah.
So can you just take us back to the beginning? Tell us about the Café Natasha days.
Yeah. So as we're going back over 40 years, we'll kind of keep it short and sweet. Literally in 1983, growing up crawling in my parents' restaurant in downtown St. Louis. Many fond memories. We opened Café Natasha on Del Mar in 1993. And then we opened the location on South Grand in 2001. So we've been where the Gin Room is today for 25 years at this point in that location. So I would say we have been embraced by the St. Louis community for many years. But I'll also tell you that growing up in your parents' restaurant business will drive you to drink.
I'm sure it will.
And though I've never been a big drinker, I went to Dirty Martinis was my drink of choice.
Okay.
And really, I know that St. Louis had quite some amazing restaurants even back in those early days. And we were on Del Mar area, probably Central West End. And at the ripe age of 22, I had walked into a bar that had an older gentleman bartender there. And I had ordered my dirty martini. And he gave me the best dirty martini I'd ever had in my life.
Wow.
In my 22 years of age. And I go, oh my gosh, did you use a special olive juice in here? And he looks at me and he goes, it's gin and olive juice. And I go, you put gin in it? And he walks off. He's like, I'm not tolerating this. But really, in my early 20s, I had fallen in love with the category of gin. And it was just like a little hobby of mine. The new American gins were starting to hit the market big time with the craft distilling movement. And I ended up working in foreign policy in Washington, D.C., and I moved back to open a crazy idea because I'm always full of crazy ideas and open a gin room in my parents' Persian restaurant. But that's where it is. Café Natasha has been a heart and soul of St. Louis for many years.
Yeah.
My mother and father opened that, and we survived with a community that supported us. And it wasn't just food. It was families that we had built relationships with. And it's why everything we do is community driven or education driven or connected somehow with the community.
Okay. I love that. So I know that you recently redid the cocktail list there at the Gin Room, which is what I fell in love with. Yeah. I mean, when I went in there, I was just taken aback because it's so good. So tell us about that.
Well, I'm glad you're one that it didn't, with our almost 30 cocktails, that didn't overwhelm you. So
Not
I really
at all.
appreciate that. We just get so excited because we have so much we want to share. And so I think the Gin Room has been known as an education forward bar, whether we're doing seminars on Sundays for industry and consumers or every day. There's so many people who come in and really don't know much about gin. And when we started in 2013, which is when the Gin Room first opened, the truth is nobody was really drinking gin. Not enough, right? So we had to become very education forward. The current menu that you are referring to is a manifestation of our interest in constantly being education forward or approachable in a way where you know that when you walk in, no matter if you like gin or not, that there's somebody there to guide you through what is happening there instead of just walking in and being like, what do you want? Right. And so we have created something, and it took many years to kind of come to where we're at, but it's a botanical wheel that we basically unraveled into kind of a DNA strand. And what's that's created to show is that it is the largest range and spectrum of flavor profiles of every spirit that is out there. And we wanted guests to really understand gin can be anything.
Right.
It can taste like, if you like agave, there's some gins that are very vegetal forward.
Okay.
If you like whiskey, the barrel-aged gins are outstanding. There's floral gins, there's savory, there's citrusy. And if you kind of look through that, you can be like, oh, I like these flavors. And you can say, hey, this is kind of where I land. Can you help guide me through this?
Yeah.
And so we wanted something that allows the guest to feel like they're part of this experience.
Yeah. So some of those cocktails, what they're named like tropical and pine, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
There's what we did out of the spectrum and flavor wheel. We picked our flavor of the days. We picked the flavors that we were most excited about. This menu launched April, I believe. So we were kind of coming out of winter, coming into some like springtime. And so we wanted to create flavors that were exciting, a bit tropical, reminded you that there is hope that is out there. And tropical, for example, there's a cocktail tropical. Our
good.
General manager and sommelier, Brad Phillips, this is his cocktail. So I want to give him the credit for that. But we all work together on the cocktails. Sure. We contribute. But this is actually, we used a gin. It's Bar Hill gin. And the only botanical in it is juniper.
Okay.
They finish it with raw honey that is out of Vermont. Okay. And Vermont is very restrictive on using like pesticides, things like that. It's like a real place that, you know, you can have things that come from the ground and are still good for you.
Amazing.
What?
Who knew?
And so the flavors and the botanicals are coming from the pollinators and the raw honey that is hitting that. And then he takes that and he used chinola, which is this tropical, beautiful liqueur. And he made a milk punch out of this. Okay.
Great.
So he took coconut, he took these things, and he's like, I want to put tropical in a glass. But I wanted, when you think of tropical, you might think of rum or something like that. Maybe, right? Something, lots of like juice. Exactly. What he did is he took these flavor profiles and he created almost a filtration system for it. So the milk punch, the coconut, it gives a mouthfeel. It gives it this. Once you use the processes to strain those out, you're left with this, the gin shines, the individual flavor profiles that were put in shine, but they come together as this one unit. And we give it to you. And currently there isn't much garnish for this cocktail, right? It's, if you give it to, it's almost unassuming, like, okay, we're at the gin room. They give me this.
It's almost like clear when it shows up. You're like, is this right?
Where's
but then you
taste
it.
Yes,
there's the flavor.
There's all the flavor.
Yeah.
And so though using a milk punch isn't like the newest technique in the world, right? But it's understanding using what techniques for what cocktails are going to get you the flavors that you need. Okay. And simple can be amazing. It's just giving us a chance to find something that excites you.
Yeah.
There's somebody who may not be their jam, right? They want
perhaps
a tomato distilled gin savory martini, right? So
you do that too.
It's finding what our guests love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I like how the parts of the menu are labeled with just the flavor profile. So like you do have some cutesy names, but you also have some that are just like, oh, do I like a tropical drink? Yes. Do I like herbal? I think that's really, very
yogurt,
user-friendly.
My brain is stopped right now, but there is lots of flavors that come out. There's cinnamon, which brings out warm spice notes and things. So, it really kind of leans in what you, but there's also things called berry.
Right.
In berry, you might think, oh, that's going to be sweet and berry and juicy. The thing it isn't, it's not sweet.
Yeah.
It is juicy. It showcases berry. It uses sake. It uses some complexities to it. But it gives the feel that it's juicy and sweet, but it's not.
It's not
right?
cloying.
It's not cloying.
I love that.
And so we can use words that you're familiar with in different ways and package that to you to make you think about something a little bit different.
Okay. Speaking of different, can we go to my other favorite cocktail?
Love to.
So the double standard is a riff on a Negroni, and it is our cover for September for very good reason. So tell us, why is it so good?
So this actually came when we were working on our April launch menu. Everyone was working hard on we threw out different concepts, and then we gave our team, hey, pick and choose what you want to work on, and we'll all kind of work together there. And then this concept came to me, and it was like, we take certain things a little too seriously, right? There's a martini, and it's in a martini glass, but in the 90s, we had a little more fun with martinis. You know, they were lots of flavors. Anything that you put in a martini glass was a martini. Negroni is 3 ingredients, okay? It is equal parts. A good friend of mine and guru, Kelly Rivers, equal parts or die is tattooed on her arm. I would say that's kind of pretty serious,
that's
right?
Very serious.
But it's Campari. It's gin, and it's a vermouth.
Right.
It's that simple,
correct.
Right? And it's attractively bitter. It may not be for everybody, right?
Yeah.
We tried to take a concept, which is a martini, and make it more fun and approachable to any guest. And so we call it highbrow, lowbrow.
Yeah.
Okay, where it's like fancy, but also very approachable. When you go to a house party, you know it's going to be an approachable house party if you come in and the host is like, welcome, I have a tray of Jell-O shots for you. You know it's not going to be a stuffy, like, super dinner party type of thing. It means that they're loosening up and having a good time.
Right.
So we took a cocktail, which is Negroni. Whoa.
She can cut around stuff.
I really love martinis. But
Say it again. Say it again.
And so the Negroni, it's in a beautiful rocks glass, right?
Yeah.
Very simple. And what we did is we took like this Filipino beautiful tropical gin, and we used that for the botanicals to shine. And we put it on a gold tray.
Cute.
Fancy, you know, it feels like someone's bringing you something special, right? And then we pick this beautiful vintage glass. We make sure it's the fanciest mini vintage glass.
Very cute.
And then what do?
Put a Jell-O shot in it.
Put a tropical Jell-O Negroni in it.
But it's so good. It's the best Jell-O shot I've ever had.
So we put this fun of like lowbrow, which is a Jell-O shot. And we the only thing we do to fancy it up is put it in the beautiful glass and serve it with this almost like a leaflet gold spoon.
Yeah.
But what is it meant to do? It's called the double standard. And there's literally we're offering you 2 cocktails. One is honestly used as almost like a garnish to the standard.
Yeah.
So it's this melony, beautiful Negroni. And you can just eat them separately or you could put them together. But what does it do to you, Lauren? How does that excite you?
You have to have it together, I think. There's no other way. I mean, yes, try them each on their own, but they just complement each other so well. It's my favorite Negroni.
Did you know what you were walking into when you ordered that cocktail?
No, I had no idea. I had been in Italy last summer and I went to this Negroni bar where they had hundreds of different Negronis and it was so good. And we come back here to St. Louis and we've been ordering Negronis.
Negronis and Amaro.
But it's never the same anywhere. But then we walked into the gin room and I was like, this is it. And now it's my new favorite bar. So great job.
You're the sweetest to us. Thank you for being willing to embrace that Italian or European drinking experience.
Yeah.
And it's something that we've really tried to do. Another time or others come in and they have an Amaro flight or an aperitivo spritz type of thing.
Yeah.
And everything we do, we try to make a fun way of experiencing new things that makes it a little bit more approachable.
Well, you make it so fun. And can we talk about the spritz cart? Because I love the spritz tasting. Why is that so fun?
So Usually we do it during the day.
Okay.
You came a little later at night, which, we're not here to judge what you're doing. So spritzes are things that it's using beautiful Amaro, which is Italian for bitter, right?
Right.
And maybe people have heard of Aperol, right?
Right.
But we have about 38 other aperitivos.
So cool.
We probably have 150 to 200 Amaras in general, right? You got to try a vermouth that was put in a spritz. You got to try an aperitivo that was put in a spritz. I think you maybe tried 3 or 4 small, reasonably. But you got to try a spectrum of flavors that this showed you. Did it feel like summertime?
Yes, it was so good.
Did it feel high alcohol?
No, I think it was really
low
reasonable.
ABV. And what we did differently than what traditionally do with spritzes, though we love Prosecco or bubbles with spritzes, obviously. But we have this beautiful Sicilian lemon tonic.
So good.
That we love to add to these aperitivos because the lemon just really makes these botanicals pop.
Yeah.
And we're not unique to doing this, but it's kind of one of our little signatures that we love to do there.
Yeah, well, this was my first time experiencing it, and I don't want to spritz any other way now. So great job.
Thank you for embracing us.
So can we move to your new chef? Tell us about that.
Yes. So we have been lucky enough for once we retired my mother from Café Natasha, which she is enjoying every day of her life. So she says very much thank you.
Oh, good.
We had a lot of life to live, right? The gin room had just really started deeply coming into its own nationally and even globally.
Right.
And Persian food has been amazing with the gin room, right? But if we can't have that anymore, I would love to lean into Mediterranean, Italian, Spanish, all of these things to really show what we can do. And so this summer, we were lucky enough to be able to adopt a new team member. We call them our partners. We're all partners in what we do. But Justin Newsom came onto our team, and we had worked with him once before during a pop-up at Monstera Mezcaleria.
Okay.
He was the food concept it was some big event that they were having because we're always having some kind of event there.
Yeah.
And I got to meet him. He used to work, he was the executive chef at Blood and Sand.
Okay.
He had worked under Ben Gruppe at Tempest.
Cool.
And they had become close friends. He had worked with Logan and his team members at
The Lucky Accomplice?
Yes,
oh, yeah.
And their new
Savage?
Yes.
Press?
So he had been working with Savage as well, and had done many things over the years. Prior to that, he really cut his teeth in Washington, D.C., where we realized we were in D.C. overlapping each other.
Oh, really? Oh.
So one of my favorite restaurants there at that time, he was working at Rose's Luxury.
Really?
I had one of the best experiences I had ever had there, but it was a hot restaurant. I think it was like the Obamas were eating there, right?
Okay.
But he had worked there, and he had worked at multiple places in Washington, D.C., and I think he did a small stint at the French Laundry with one of his good friends in California. But really, he loves French.
Okay.
He loves Asian.
Ah.
And he loves everything. Like, he is known, like, pasta is what he does too. But what he does is he uses these nuances that he falls in love with in these other cultures and kind of blends them into things that he is creating.
Very cool.
So I'd say we are Italian Mediterranean with flavors of other cultures, which is, what is that? New American. Exactly. That's what New American is.
All-encompassing term.
We take other cultures and we kind of sew them into our food.
I love that. That seems perfect.
And that's what we are doing, and we're very excited to have that.
Cool. Okay. Well, can we talk a little bit about our sauce launch party?
Yes.
It's going to be on Thursday, September 25th from 5 to 8. What's our plan?
What's our plan? It'll be at the gin room, and luckily it'll still be beautiful weather and the end of not the end. I never want to say the end. We're still leaning into summertime and going into the fall where it's not so hot in the St. Louis summers.
It'll be okay.
And we have a gorgeous patio right on the corner of Wyoming and Grand. And we actually have a bar that's outside on that too. So we're going to be having a good time. But when you put the gin girl and you put this amazing Lauren together and our heads come together over aperitivo spritzes, you never know what's going to happen. So this concept came up where we're so excited that Sauce Magazine is back in print.
Yes.
I mean, about time.
It feels good.
It was something that's been so much of part of the St. Louis community, like being able to sit somewhere and just use your hands and like go through like a newspaper and like kind of touch things and read things together. And I'm so glad that is back. And so we've been part of this community and Sauce Magazine since its start.
Wow.
And though we've been in it many, many times, I think you're surprising us. This is the first time I believe we've ever been on the cover.
Well deserved.
So, thank you for even considering us there. But what we wanted to do is launch a collaborative event. You decided to fall in love with Negroni. So thank you, Lauren.
Yes. How could I not?
And then September just happens to be global and national Negroni week.
It's perfect.
Like, did you
Kismet.
somehow?
Yeah.
Like even other national magazines, Imbibe magazine, they're doing their Negroni issue right now. It's just September means Negronis, right?
It's time.
And so you leaned in. And so I was like, what if we like host this event, which leans into Negronis, which everyone's starting to love. It's the cool kid new drink, right? And we do a beautiful menu of Negronis on a beautiful patio. And you picked a double standard. And I was like, let's launch this where we're showcasing and having fun the way we used to.
Exactly.
In person, analog, basically, where we're coming together and we're not necessarily scrolling through our phones, but we're touching and holding the issue of Sauce Magazine.
Yeah. It's going to be so much fun.
I'm excited.
I can't wait.
Yes.
I hope a lot of people come out to try this drink.
It's open to everybody, you know? And if you're not a fan of Negronis or you don't think you're a fan of Negronis yet, please come and let us baby step you into it.
Yeah.
Like there's a cocktail called the Inzoni, which is like
so good too.
Muddled grapes and lemon juice in it. And it's like a summer Negroni.
Yeah.
I promise you, we'll be able to baby step you into this.
I think the thing about Negronis is the 1-to-1-to-1 can be a bit intense. I think it's the riff on the Negroni that really
introduces
it allows
people.
those ingredients to shine while making it a little bit more approachable. So I think it's so fun that you're doing that.
I love this.
Okay. Now, can we go to Gin World?
Okay.
Tell us how it has grown over the years.
Gin. So it is the 10th year of Gin World Gin Week nationally,
And
but
what is
St.
that?
Louis. So you know how we all have crazy ideas. And the Gin Room had opened in 2013. And we started really... A lot of distillers were coming to St. Louis. A lot of makers were coming to St. Louis. And what we all kind of know, St. Louis is a beer, bourbon, and barbecue town.
Certainly.
Definitely food-centric over the years. Like we are a place to be and we are exploding in our culinary scene.
Sure.
And have been for the last 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And so Gin Week started as something where I was like, okay, all these distillers are coming to St. Louis. I want to do more than just have a little event that a few people can come to. Let's see if we could get them all to come all at the same time.
Yeah.
So anyone seen Willy Wonka before in the Golden Ticket? So I literally made golden tickets.
No way.
It was invite one and I mailed it. I found addresses. Yes, real
so
snail
cute.
mail. And I mailed it to all of my favorite distilleries around the United States. And I said, we're doing this thing. It happened to be centered around my birthday, so I could like use it as a bargaining chip. Mm-hmm. And I was like, could we get you all to come during this week where we would have events individually with you guys? But then on, I think it was like a Saturday, we'd have a culmination where we would close down the street. So we closed down Wyoming and Grand, and we closed down the restaurant and the gin room, and we made Gin Festival.
Cool.
And I invited many people. Almost all of them said yes. And we had over 30 distillers come to St. Louis, over 300 people in our first year. Nice. And that's now grown into its 10-year. Hundreds of people come out for gin and come from all over the U.S. Come to St. Louis. We've become the center of gin for the United States. And it's a way to celebrate it. Yeah. And that's happening in October this year. So Gin Week is now October 5th. So it's Sunday through Sunday, October 5th through October 12th.
Okay.
And October 12th, it will be at Majorette.
Okay.
And there will be hundreds of gins.
Cool.
So many makers where you can walk through, and it's kind of like a festival for adults to like kind of, if you don't like gin, come. If you like gin, come. If you like whiskey, come. There's so much to experience.
Very cool.
There.
And now, haven't you taken this like national?
Yes.
Where do you go?
So this year alone, we'll have done 15 Gin Worlds.
Wow.
We have taken this, what we create, and I give all the credit to St. Louis, the community here, the platform that we created to bring education and love for gin in St. Louis. We took that and we packaged it. And then we started going from city to city to kind of recreate. We're not New York. We're not San Francisco. We're not Miami. We're not Chicago.
Sure.
We might be pretty cool because we are. But I think we love that about ourselves.
Yeah.
We've been going to these kind of smaller markets around the United States. This year we went to Oklahoma City. Okay. We went to Milwaukee. We went to Baltimore. We went to Detroit. We've been to, we are going to South Dakota.
All right.
We are going to, so there's so many cities that we are going to that maybe people don't pay as much attention to.
Yeah.
But they are bursting with talent and with things. And so some of them are actually the bars that are around that we partnered with in these cities are flying to St. Louis to do pop-ups throughout the year. There's also some of the biggest names in gin that have decided to fly in and be with us during that time. There's a few gins that guests might have heard of or maybe not, but there's a gin called Ford's Gin. Mm-hmm. The maker, Simon Ford, is flying into St. Louis to be here. Fun. And at least in our industry, that's a really big deal, right? Yeah. There's another gin out of London. It is the oldest family distillery in London. They are kind of the people who were part of the creation of the London dry gin category.
Okay.
Hayman's Gin.
Right.
The co-owner, Miranda Hayman, is flying into St. Louis to be with us. The master distiller of St. George, Dave Smith, is flying in to be with us. Like the names that are coming in, you get to meet these people that are living legends that are going to be here. And there's a dinner that I invited you to as well. Yes. Dinner with the Legends.
That's right.
It's a Wednesday night at the Gin Room, Wednesday, October 8th. The Gin Room has started becoming known for its beautiful wine dinners, right?
Yeah.
And so we've created something it's a cocktail dinner.
Okay.
It's a 5 or 6 course, however many we need it to be. It doesn't matter. It's going to be immaculate. There's going to be curated cocktails for each of those courses that are aligned with each of those legends.
Cool.
And then, has anyone heard of musical chairs before as a kid?
Of course.
I don't know if we still play anymore, but it's a beautiful dinner where we're all there. And then the distiller or the maker moves from table to table to sit and actually have dinner with you, at least for a good period of time until they move to the next table.
Wow.
It's one of the most intimate dining experiences we're able to give.
Yeah.
And yes, there's only 45 seats there, but it's something that you will never forget.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. Okay. Let's just wrap things up a little bit. Can you just tell us, what do you like to do for fun?
Outside of being a workaholic and loving this industry, so we recently got a little lake house out in the Herman area.
Yeah.
I would imagine all of us, if we get a little kayak or a boat out on this 300-acre lake and just sit in the sunshine is kind of a beautiful thing we like to do.
Okay.
But yes, we really do dedicate ourselves to what we're doing here. And so I rarely actually do enjoy when y'all come in and we do like a blind tasting gin flight with you guys.
So much fun.
So getting to know what the people here is what makes us,
I love that.
it's really exciting for us. Okay. I don't have kids, so
okay.
I adopt other people's kids.
Yeah. Well, I have one you can borrow. All right.
Yes.
Well, it has been so nice chatting with you today, and I cannot wait for everyone to see your feature in the September issue.
I'm looking forward to our big party with you, and hopefully you all come out for Gin Week in October.
Yeah. So. All right. We'll see you then.